As you may know, I've made a few videos in the past about the best interior mods, and even though a few people have disagreed with some of those ideas, there are way worse interior touches out there. Some cars just come with bad interiors, which is one thing, but you'd be surprised by the questionable things people put into their cars. Well, today we're going over 7 of the worst interior mods and touches that some of you might have even considered in the past. Let's get into it. If after this video you're looking for some good interior mod ideas, check out any of those videos that I have out next. And if you enjoy, a like and subscribe is very much appreciated. And if you don't enjoy, I can't really give you cookies or anything, so yeah. First, I want to point out you can do whatever you want to your interior, and even though I or anyone else doesn't agree with it, you should make your interior how you want it to be because it's your car. Without further ado though, first up is printed stuff. Printed seats or wheel covers or pretty much anything. In my opinion, the only supportable print in a car is carbon fiber, but I know some of you guys aren't even fans of that. Personally, I think small touches of carbon fiber and carbon fiber with little bits of color throughout are pretty cool and can do a great job of spicing up an interior. When it comes to having zebra, cheetah, stripes, lightning bolts, this one might be hard on a few of you guys, flames, and any other animal prints or stuff like that, I gotta say that's a big old no-go for me. Even if the alternative is that everything's exactly the same color, I'd probably go with that instead. Next up, which is kind of related to the prints, is having furry interior covers. Yeah, someone out there is into this stuff, and if it's you, no offense, but
stop it. Get some help.
I'm not entirely sure what to say about this one because there's at least some positive side to keeping the other things in this list to a minimum, but I don't see anywhere that I'd really support having fur in the car. Seats? Nope. A shifter? I don't think so. Floor mats? Another big no. I kind of wish there was something positive I could toss in here for the people who do like this stuff, but I've kind of got nothing. And with that, I guess moving on. Third for today is having big displays with no dimming. The downside to having displays like this is that it's pretty unhelpful at night to have a big screen burning your eyes out. It's really not fun. As someone who's bought cars in the past with aftermarket screens, they can be great and fun when you first get one, and they can make installing backup or front cameras a lot easier, but other than that, I don't think they're all that helpful. I've always liked being able to know where the volume and station changing knobs are even when I'm not looking, and the temperature and fan speeds are good too, but when you have a screen, you can't really know it without looking. The temperature and fan speed issue is really just for newer cars that come like that from the factory, but if you have an aftermarket one for an older car, you probably have knobs anyway. Besides my personal preference about touchscreens, it's especially annoying when you're driving tired and your eyes already sting from people forgetting that they have high beams on or just straight up not knowing that you're supposed to shut off your high beams when you're facing other cars. Who knows, it might just take one bad turn and a bright album cover popping up on the screen for things to go south really quick. For another bad interior mod, we've got improper DIY paint. Having big painted interior parts isn't really my cup of tea, but I can understand how some people like having little touches throughout their car. Older cars offered way more bright interior options, but over time the colors offered dialed down to black, gray, tan, black, and gray for 90% of cars. Newer high-end cars do still have their own small touches of color, but for a lot of people driving stuff made between 1990 and 2010, everything's real plain and gloomy. Beyond going overboard with colored parts, where this touch becomes real bad is when people decide to paint certain parts either not well, with the wrong paint, or on the wrong parts, and it starts to flake, bubble, and look really bad. Obviously, things like steering wheels, shifters, and buttons that get touched a lot might age quicker than other parts, along with anything in a lot of direct sunlight or right in front of AC vents. Number 5 is adding unnecessary buttons, dials, and button covers. For some cars, it's easy to find inexpensive aftermarket start buttons, and while that might seem cool at first glance, the reality isn't all that cool. Unless it's an expensive, time-consuming to install kit, you won't really just be sitting down and pressing the button to start the car. You'll have to get in, put the key in the same way as you always do now, and then press the button and hope that it works as long as you hoped it would. To some, that might still add just enough of a spaceship pilot vibe for them to still want it, and that's totally fine and kind of understandable. But a lot of people might not understand the reality of it when they first see it. And speaking of going for a rocket ship pilot vibe, button covers and unnecessary dials are also in this category. I know Aventadors have that cool little switch thing for the engine start, and is it badass? Hell yeah, I want a button cover for my Lamborghini too, but buying a $5 stick-on thing from Alibaba is not the way to go. If you do it as a joke or because for some reason you really love the idea, go for it. That's all you. Buying aftermarket dials can be very helpful when something stops working on your car or it never showed a certain reading at all, but having unnecessary dials just for the sake of having them is, well, a little unnecessary. Second to last for today is overdone tint. Attention, window tint laws differ from state to state. Please inform yourself on your state's laws, as none of this is legal advice. Tinting your windows can make your ride look a lot cleaner and improve your sense of privacy in it. Although darker tints would obviously have a more dramatic effect on this stuff, it also has a more dramatic effect on your visibility at night. Having tinted side and rear windows can help with decreasing eye strain from other cars' headlights, especially when you're driving a lower car, but it'll obviously make non-lit up stuff a lot harder to see too. Again, tint can be cool and states do have their own regulations, but keep in mind, it's hard to look cool or be taken seriously when you can't see.
All right, put the money in the bag. Put it in!
You're facing the wrong way, sir.
Fuck.
The final worst interior mod for today is having too much bass. Being able to play good sounding music in your car is kind of a must for everyone, and that's totally understandable. And maybe you end up fantasizing about times that you're with all your friends and you have a good reason to open your windows and blast music to listen to it outside. But in reality, that probably rarely, if ever, happens, and getting a crazy sound system won't be that much more effective than the factory radio, besides the effect it has on your wallet. And I know you all know the hear a strange noise while driving, turn up the radio trick, but the answer for louder, bad, ooh type of engine sounds isn't to get a louder sound system, because eventually the louder system will be the thing making your car rattle and fall apart. Paying to repair a sound system or paying a small amount extra for upgrades does make complete sense, but I feel like paying big bucks to make the volume go to levels it'll never be kept at just doesn't make sense, and that money could be better spent on other things. It is something people are into though, and to each their own. Let me know if you disagree with any of these or if I forgot any good ones, and make sure to check out any of my other best interior mod videos for some good ideas. Again, if you have or like any of the stuff here, it's not up to me, and your car's interior is for you, so who really cares what I think?
I don't care.
If you've got questions, please feel free to leave a comment or DM me on Instagram, and if you could drop a little thummy boy, that'd be pretty sweet. As always, thank you guys all very much for watching. I genuinely appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day.